It's time to test your skills. This test was requested by Primal Hive tier member Kimmel Pronger. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to support me by becoming a member, the link is in the description below. Shout out to all the members who are supporting me. You can also help me out by clicking the like and subscribe buttons. Now let's get to the video. Dehaka is one of the strongest commanders in the game, and he got even stronger when prestiges were introduced. He's good at both head-on fights and multitasking with any prestige, and his playstyle doesn't change that much between prestiges. There are both multitasking and head-on tests for any prestige of your choice. Let's start with head-on. The quiz is Chilling Adaptation. This will test your unit control as you defend the ships. The midterm is Firewall. Are you able to clear the mines in a timely manner so that Orana doesn't get blown up? The final exam is Enter the Nexus. With the exception of Assembly of Vengeance, this one is probably the most difficult heroes mutation for Dehaka. How will you fare in this battle? The dissertation is Call It a Comeback. The enemy count matters, so fight a weak one to make your life easier. You will also need to know the map patterns so that you won't be out of position during double waves. Now let's go on to multitasking. The quiz is well trained. You'll be hanging around the center, but that doesn't mean you don't need map control. Enemy count matters because of aggressive deployment. The midterm is Spectre of Death. One of Dehaka's weaknesses is We Move Unseen. Can you deal with invisible reanimators and trickles? The final exam is Knock Knock. Most of the propagator mutations are either too easy or too difficult for Dehaka. This one seems right. And it's also a Dead of Night test. The dissertation is Encroaching Madness. Dehaka is an above-average commander for Void Rifts, so he gets an above-average Void Rifts test. And now for the skill tests. First skill is Full Clearing Temple of the Past quickly. Quick Killers is the map for that. You can try Grave Danger if you want a slightly easier version with no killbots. The next skill test is winning against killbots that you can't stop, and that will be unlocked and loaded. It's basically speedrunning LNL with a mutator that forces you to act quickly. The next skill test is to beat a Missile Command mutation. Dehaka has a bit of trouble against Missile Command because of the early game, not the late game nukes. How will you survive the first 10 minutes? Here we have Double Edged, a mutator that only appears in 5 official mutations. Obviously, Creeper hosts just dominate against Double Edged, but what about the early game? Can you expand quickly enough to get to those hosts? Next, beat a Diffusion Void Thrashing mutation using Creeper hosts. Attrition Warfare is easier, so if you want a challenge, try Equivalent Exchange. The last 3 are simply to snipe various objectives using Creeper hosts despite environmental mutators. The first one is Scythe of Amon. Second is Rifts to Core Hall. And last is Void Thrashing. So, Dehaka main, are you up to the challenge? Here's a checklist of the tests. Cross them off as you complete them. Remember that you can use any prestige. And here's the checklist for the skill tests. Alright, and that's the end of the test. Like and subscribe if you want more tests for other commanders. Comment your thoughts on the tests. If you want to submit a test for review, please go to my Discord. People who complete the tests can have their runs listed in my Hall of Fame sheet. Check it out in the description. After you try these tests, why don't you check out some of the previous ones? They'll be appearing on your screen shortly. See you next time.